Hello everyone, my name is Sarafi and I'm happy to meet you all. Again, today we are going to be talking about the new leaked box, Rainbow Overdrive. So we were expecting some good cards from this box, and I think it's delivered. I don't know if I'm going to go into it yet or not, but I do think that a lot of you will. So let's talk about what cards you can get from this box. To start with, we have Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive. This is a fusion of an Ultimate Crystal monster and 7 Crystal Beast monsters. Level 12 Light Dragon, 4,000 attack points, 0 defense points. So it's basically Rainbow Dragon. Must be special summoned from your extra deck during a duel. You special summon an Ultimate Crystal monster, which is either Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon, by banishing the above monsters from your field and or graveyard. While 7 or more of your Crystal Beast monsters with different names are banished, this card gains 7,000 attack points. So, yeah, you just banish. You have to have the monsters on your field or in your graveyard. You can't banish monsters from your spell and trap zone because they are not monster cards. So, you have to special summon Rainbow Dragon, which requires that you have all 7 Crystal Beasts either on your field or in your graveyard, and then you have to banish Rainbow Dragon and 7 Crystal Beast monsters from your field or your graveyard in order to special summon this card. And then it has 11,000 attack points. If this card has not battled this turn, as a quick effect, you contribute this card, shuffle as many cards on the field as possible into the deck, and if you do, special summon any number of your banished Crystal Beast monsters. Okay, so what you do with the skill is you'll try and make Ultimate Crystal Rainbow Dragon Overdrive on turn 1, pass to your opponent builds their board, tries to stop you, you just activate Crystal Rainbow Overdrive, use this effect, shuffle your opponent's entire board into their deck, they can't do anything to stop you, and then you just summon 3 monsters from your banish zone, and you win the game. Seems pretty good. Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon. This card is confusing because the Japanese name is Crystal Beast Zenith, and Zenith, this is not an Ultimate Crystal monster. Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Dark Dragon are Ultimate Crystal monsters because Rainbow Dragon translates to Ultimate Crystal in Japanese. So weird naming convention, but this card is not an Ultimate Crystal monster. Level 8 Dragon Monster. If this face-up card is destroyed in a monster zone, you can place it in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard, so it has the same crystallized effect as every Crystal Beast. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's pretty good. So, if your Crystal Beast is attacked, you get a 3,000 beater. If you attack with one of your Crystal Beasts, you can reinforce yourself with a 3,000 beater. Both of those pretty good. You can banish this continuous spell, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but negate its effects, and if you do, add 1 Ultimate Crystal monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so the second effect is mandatory. You can only use this effect if you have an Ultimate Crystal monster in your deck to add to your hand, which means that we will probably be playing 2 copies of Rainbow Dragon in the Crystal Beast deck to make sure that if we draw one of them, we can still use Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon's effect. So what this does, you normal summon your Sapphire Pegasus. If you need advice about how Crystal Beasts work, watch my Crystal Beast deck guide that just came out. It's good, I promise you. It shows you what to do with this deck. But basically, normal summon Sapphire Pegasus, place the Rainbow Dragon in your spell and trap zone, banish it, draw Rainbow Dragon, special summon Amber Mammoth or Topaz Tiger from your deck, exceeds into a rank 4. There you go. That's the plan. So it gives you a pretty good, solid opener. Emergency Call. Add 1 elemental hero monster from your deck to your hand. This card has been leaked for over a year, which is great. So, fantastic. This is not once per turn. It does not have a level restriction like Rhoda. One of the biggest problems that heroes have had since the introduction of super polymerization is that they couldn't play Rhoda anymore. And E-Emergency Call fixes that problem. You can play 3 copies of E-Emergency Call. You don't need to play Rhoda anymore, so you can play your super polymerization and feel completely fine. Play a couple Stratos, you have tons of search, you have skills that give you consistency. I think that E-Emergency Call is probably the best card that heroes could have ever gotten. So enjoy. In a 20-card list, a not once per turn searcher that will just draw you anything that you need is insane. Okay, Gizmek Orochi, the Serpententron Sky Slasher. So far, we've had only one Gizmek card added, which was Gizmek Kaku, the Supreme Shining Sky Stag, which we got like over a year ago. Gizmeks are machine monsters that have the same attack and defense points. They're all different levels, and I believe they're all different attributes, and they all have different effects. So they're not really an archetype. They don't really have any cards that reference Gizmek. But Orochi, the Serpententron Sky Slasher is by far the best one. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, as a quick effect, you can banish 8 cards from the top of your deck face down, special summon this card. You can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, then target one face-up monster on the field and destroy it. You can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. So the ability to just revive this card for free by banishing 8 cards from your graveyard is fantastic. It will be very difficult for your opponent to actually out this card. They'll have to banish it, or they'll have to return it to your hand or something else, because you could just revive it multiple times, keep it alive. It does cost cards from your deck, but we're getting a skill for some reason for Gizmeks. I don't know why. Whatever. So if you want to play Gizmek, you're eating good. Next up, we have Tri-Brigade Fractal. That is unfortunate. So, my apologies to your Tri-Brigade players. You need to go through this box 3 times. Sorry. At least you get 3 e-calls. Tri-Brigade Fractal. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Send 1 level 3 or lower Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can banish any number of Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters in your graveyard. Special summon 1 Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast Link monster from your extra deck with a Link rating equal to the number banished. Also, you can only use Beast, Beast Warrior, and Winged Beast monsters as Link material for the rest of the turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, I will be referring to that effect as the Tri-Brigade effect for the rest of the video, because I'm not reading that 4 times. Anyway. So, Fractal is the starter. How you use this. You activate Fractal's effect, you discard it from your hand, you mill Kit. When Kit is sent to the graveyard, you can mill a different card, so you mill your Nerval, and then Nerval, when it's been milled, adds Karis to your hand. Then you could discard a card to special summon Karis from your hand. At that point, you will have 4 monsters in your graveyard, and Karis can use the Tri-Brigade effect to special summon Shireg, and you still haven't normal summoned yet. So, that's the combo. It's insane, it's very consistent, but you need 3 Fractals. Now, Fractal is a Beast Warrior, which means it can be searched with Fire Formation Tanky, which is interesting. You can play Fire Formation Tanky at 3, and potentially only play Fractal at 1, if you want to live dangerously. But that would mean that you could make the deck with 1 run through the box. So keep that in mind. Chamber Dragonmaid. Dragonmaid's got a skill that lets you add any Dragonmaid monster from your deck to your hand. So, even if you only have this card at 1, you can just search it. So, I think that Dragonmaids can be made with one run through the box because of their skill. So, yeah, this card is good. It's definitely insane, but you can play it at 1 with the skill. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Dragonmaid spell or trap from your deck to your hand. At the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon 1 level 7 or higher Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. I will be referring to that as the Dragonmaid effect, because I'm not reading it 8 times. You can only use each effect of Chamber Dragonmaid once per turn. Cool. It's dark, it's level 4, 500 attack, 1800 defense. Good card. Dragunity Remus. I apologize to all Dragunity players. After getting the best deck building box you've ever seen, you now have to go through this box 3 times for 1 card. I'm sorry. At least you get 3 calls. Okay, Dragunity Remus. This is a level 2 Dragon Tuner monster. Cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Dragunity monster. You can discard this card to add Ravine to your hand, which is crazy. If you control a Dragunity monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the extra deck for the rest of the turn except dragon monsters. So, you discard the card, you get Ravine, which lets you search anything, and then you can just revive it, and it's a level 2 tuner monster. This card is fantastic. Played at 3. I'm sorry. Last up, we have Saurus, the Ancient and Ascended. Good. This is a card you only need one of in any deck. It's a level 7 light dragon ritual monster that can be ritual summoned with Sprite's Blessing, which I don't think Sprite's Blessing got reprinted. Well, I guess we wouldn't see if Sprite's Blessing got reprinted because, you know, we don't see reprints in these leaks. I'm sure Sprite's Blessing will be in the box. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a monster you control, as a quick effect, you can discard this card and negate the activation. When your opponent would special summon a monster, as a quick effect, you can return this card to the hand, negate the special summon, and if you do, banish that monster. So, Saurus, you might recognize Saurus because if you've been playing Master Duel recently, this card sees a lot of play in Voiceless Voice, because it's in Voiceless Voice. Basically, it's just a negate a targeted card. If you play a deck that can... the purpose of having this card is that if you're playing Dogmatica, you can mill Herald of the Arclight, which will allow you to add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You add Saurus, and then you have targeting protection for whatever board you're building. It's a good card to have in Dogmatica as a one-of. And there are other Dogmatica cards in the box for some reason. So... cool. Dogmatica's indirect support, I guess. They're also giving us a Dogmatica playmat, which looks amazing. So, this will probably be in the store, sadly, but if you're one of those people who likes to buy playmats, this is probably the best one they've given us so far. Yeah. Other than Dogmatica... I mean, incantation can search this, but I don't think that you would ever ritual summon this. I guess if you want to play a dedicated incantation deck, it's like a good option. But incantation is not a dedicated deck. It's like a support deck for other ritual decks. So I can see why they put this card in the box. Get it at 1. It will be useful in weird cases in several decks, but... it's not a card you need to worry about. Alright, for the SRs. Golden Rule. Beautiful. Best Crystal Beast card that's ever been printed. This card is always treated as a crystal card. It is an equipped spell that does not require a target. Let's go. Place 2 Crystal Beast monsters from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone as continuous spells. Then special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your hand or graveyard with a different name than those cards, and if you do, equip it with this card. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster. You can only activate 1 Golden Rule per turn. Okay. Now, obviously the problem with this card in Duel Links is that it will lock up all of your spell and trap zones, because it's an equipped spell that plays 2 other cards as continuous spells from your deck. Okay. So, how do you use this? Basically, there's 2 ways that you can do this. Either you have Ruby Carbuncle in your hand or in your graveyard, in which case, Golden Rule, play 2 cards, Ruby Carbuncle special summon from the Golden Rule. That activates Ruby Carbuncle's effect to special summon both the cards you just put in your spawn trap zone to your field. Then you send them all to the graveyard and you summon Destiny Hero Plasma from your hand. You can't do that with the skill, just don't play the skill. But if you don't want to do that, you can just set Crystal Beast Rainbow Dragon as one of the cards, and then it can banish itself, so you don't have to worry about clearing your board. Be careful with this card. Don't activate this card without a plan. Okay, I understand that Crystal Beasts are very not linear, so you're going to have to come up with like a plan on the fly, but the last thing you want to do is activate Golden Rule because you know it's a good card, and then realize that your spell and trap zones are full and you have nothing to do with them. So, like I said, Ruby Carbuncle, or make sure that you have Rainbow Dragon as one of the 2 cards that you set. Really good card, though. Looking forward to playing it. Tri-Brigade kit. It has the Tri-Brigade effect, and then it also has, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send one Tri-Brigade card from your deck to the graveyard, except Tri-Brigade kit. The reason why this is good is, of course, because it triggers if it's been milled. So you Tri-Brigade fractal to mill this, which lets you mill Nerval, which lets you add Karis, and then you have 3 monsters in your graveyard already. So, excellent. Very consistent, very good deck. Next up, we have House Dragonmaid. House Dragonmaid is a level 9 Dragon Fusion monster. It requires 1 Dragonmaid monster plus 1 Dragon monster. Once per turn, during the standby phase, you can target 1 other Dragon monster you control, Dragonmaid monster you control. Special summon 1 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position whose level is 1 higher or 1 lower than it. Okay, so we got level 2, 3, and 4 Dragonmaids in the main deck, and then we have level 7 and 8 Dragonmaids in the extra deck, not in the extra deck, in like that are like huge. These are Dragonmaid cards, yeah, okay. So you're just kind of like, if you have a big dragon, you get another big dragon. If you have a small dragon, you get another small dragon. It's a cool effect. I mean, free special summons are good, so don't worry about it. When another face-up dragon monster you control returns to your hand, except during the damage step, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. That's good. So when you start the battle phase, you trigger your Dragonmaid effect, then you can pop a card. You never make House Dragonmaid on its own. You will make Show, and then Show will return itself to the extra deck to summon House Dragonmaid, and then House Dragonmaid is your compensation for having already Omni-negated your opponent. Invoked Algades. I already went over this card in my new card reveal, but this is a fusion of Alistair the Invoker plus 1 fusion monster. If this card is special summoned, or if a monster is special summoned to your opponent's field, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and destroy it. That is hilarious. That is just good. Every time, once per turn your opponent special summons a monster, okay, before you can do anything else, pop. Nice monster. Good card. Once per turn, you can banish 1 fusion monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to that banished monster's attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Also good. You would not play this at more than 1. It's a good card, but you have to banish a fusion monster to summon it. So you need to have other fusion monsters. So with a 9-card extra deck, no, you're gonna play this at 1. Gizmek Makami, the Ferocious Fanged Fortress. Level 6 Wind Machine, 2150 attack and defense. While 6 or more of your cards are banished, you can normal summon this card without attributing. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can discard 1 monster, add 1 monster who has attack equal to its own defense from your deck to your hand, except Makami. If this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can shuffle 6 of your banished cards into the deck. Okay, that's pretty good. So you special summon your Serpentron, then you could use Makami. You can normal summon Makami, and then I guess you just search Skystag, right? Skystag does have the same thing, right? Yeah, then you could just search Skystag, which is really good. Are there any other Gizmecs that you would search besides Skystag? Let me see. I don't know what any of the other Gizmecs do. There are no rare Gizmecs. Okay, let's see. Arakami. Special summon for free. Tani Cuckoo. Lets you choose what you draw next. Hopping Hare. Special summons a monster from your hand, but it has to be normal summoned. So you wouldn't search it. Okay, yeah, no, so you just play Skystag. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a deck, but I'm sure that some Gizmek enjoyer will prove me very, very wrong. Tri-Brigade Charade the Ominous Omen. A super rare. Excellent, because you need this at 2. Requires 2 or more Beast Warrior, and or Wing Beast monsters. Link for 3,000 attack points. If this card is special summoned, or if another Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster is special summoned to your field, you can banish 1 card on the field without targeting it. That's amazing. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add one beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monster from your deck to your hand, whose level is less than or equal to the number of monsters that you have banished that are beast, beast warrior, or winged beast monsters. You can use this to search Rescue Rabbit, which is hilarious. You can only use each effect of Tri-Brigade, Charade, the Ominous Omen once per turn. Okay, so if we ever get number 85? What is it called? Hold on. I can't remember its number. I think it's 85. Number 86, Heroic Champion Rongomaniad. Okay, if we ever get number 86, Heroic Champion Rongomaniad, here's what you do. Let me cook, chat. Okay. You play Lyralusk, and you use your Tri-Brigade cards. So Fractal, Mill, do all your Fractal stuff. You end up with 3 cards in your graveyard, Karis in your hand. Summon your Lyralusk monsters. Then you Xyz into... or no. You summon both your Lyralusk monsters. You use Karis, discard its card to special summon itself. Link into Tri-Brigade, Farigit the Barren Blossom. And then you link again into... No, hold on. You play your 2 Lyralusks, you special summon the Karis. Karis effect, summon Shiraeg. Link Karis and Shiraeg into Reprodokus. Karis, or Shiraeg's effect, draw the guy. Rescue Rabbit. Then you normal summon Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit banish itself. Special summon 2 Celtic Guardians from your deck. Xyz those into number 86 Rongomaniad under Reprodokus. Then you use Reprodokus to make Rongomaniad a winged beast, and then you use your Lyralusk monster with the Lyralusk's continuous spell, transfer all the materials over to Rongomaniad, and then your Rongomaniad has like 6 or 7 materials, and your opponent can't play the game anymore. If you don't know how Rongomaniad works, you're lucky. Rongomaniad, if it has at least 4 materials, your opponent cannot normal or special summon any monsters. And if it has at least 3 materials, it's unaffected by other card effects. So your opponent cannot play the game. It's fantastic. Anyway, I have done this, by the way. It's very funny. Okay. Dragonmaid Hospitality. Special summon 1 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position. Then you can send 1 Dragonmaid monster with the same attribute but a different level from your deck to the graveyard. You can only activate 1 Hospitality per turn. That's excellent. So we already have a skill that lets us mill a card from our hand, which is important. We want Dragonmaids in our graveyard so we can bounce our cards to summon the bigger Dragonmaids. But this card will let us basically make sure that we summon the right monster. So you can special summon Parlor and then mill Lorper. You can special summon Kitchen and then mill Tinkek. You can special summon Laundry and then mill new Jarl. You can special summon Nurse and then mill Dragonmaid Ernest. So yeah. Hospitality is just good. Okay. Winged Karibo level 6. This is a level 6 fairy monster. It's always treated as both an elemental hero and a favorite card. Fantastic. I love this little guy. If you can't see the artwork, it is literally Winged Karibo wearing Flaming Man's gauntlet as like cosplay. He's cosplaying as Flaming Man. It's fantastic. Must be special summoned from your hand or your graveyard by banishing an elemental hero fusion monster or a Winged Karibo from your hand, face up, field, or graveyard. Cool. So, you cycle through fusion monsters pretty often in elemental heroes, so just banish a fusion monster from your graveyard, no big deal. You can only special summon Winged Karibo level 6 once per turn. When your opponent's monster declares an attack or when your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, as a quick effect, you contribute Winged Karibo level 6. Destroy the monster that activated its effect, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack, which will probably be halved. Great. So it doesn't negate the effect, but it pops the card and burns your opponent with their attack points, like Flame Wingman. So he's literally just Flame Wingman, but he pops. Very, very good, very cute. You can search it with eCall because it's an elemental hero. I love this. Play this at 1. It's fantastic. it will make your hero decks better. Okay. Next up, we have Incantation Kandal. Okay, so Incantation is a deck now. This is a ritual support deck, which is really weird. This is a level 4 Pyro monster. You can reveal one ritual spell in your hand, special summon both this card from your hand and one incantation monster from your deck that's not Kandal. If this card is special summoned from the deck, you can add one ritual spell from your deck to your hand. You can only use one Incantation Kandal effect per turn, only once that turn. And as long as Incantation Kandal is on the board, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So, if you're thinking that you can easily get some Synchro or Exceeds plays going, no. This is just rituals. Really cool. Tri-Brigade Revolt. Special summon a number of your Beast, Beast Warrior, and or Wing Beast monsters that are banished and or in your graveyard, but negate their effects. Then immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one Tri-Brigade Link monster using only those monsters. You can only activate one Revolt per turn. Okay, so this card is searchable with Tri-Brigade Bearbrum the Rampant Rampager, which is a Link 2. Yes, okay. So what you'll do is you have to have a Link 2 in your graveyard. So you're going to link into Bearbrum the Rampant Rampager, and then link that off to make your Charade. Then Bearbrum will let you draw Revolt. And then during your opponent's turn, you can play Revolt and revive Bearbrum and 2 other Tri-Brigades to link into another Charade and immediately banish one of your opponent's cards. So cool. It's a good effect. Invoked Raijin. Invoked Raijin is a fusion of Alistair, the Invoker, plus a Wind monster. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can target one face-up monster on the field and change it to face-down defense position. So it's just Book of Moon. Every single turn. Free books. I love it. Tri-Brigade Farrajet the Baron Blossom. 2 Beast, Warrior, and a Wing Beast monsters. During your main phase, you can special summon one level 4 or lower Beast, Warrior, or Wing Beast monster from your hand. Also, you cannot use monsters as link material for the rest of the turn except Beast, Warrior, and or Wing Beast monsters. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can draw one card, then place one card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so you can use this to special summon Rescue Rabbit as well. I keep talking about Rescue Rabbit because Rescue Rabbit is a good card. Don't forget about that. Good card, yeah. Great Beast, Warrior, and Wing Beast support. Kitchen Dragonmaid. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Dragonmaid monster from your deck to your hand, except Kitchen Dragonmaid, then send one Dragonmaid monster from your hand to the graveyard. So, Kitchen can literally just draw you Tink Heck and then mill it. At the start of your battle phase, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon one level 8 Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard. So, Chamber does not have a dragon form. She's the only one that doesn't for some reason. So she just gets to choose any other dragon form and take it on. But the other girls all choose like their own dragon form. So Kitchen Dragonmaid has to turn into a level 8, which is going to be Tink Heck or Lorpar. And Laundry turns into a level 7, which has to be New Jarl or Airness. Okay. Alright, Dragonmaid Tink Heck. Cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. That's pretty good. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. As a quick effect, you can discard this card, then target one Dragonmaid monster you control, and it gains 2,000 attack points until the end of the turn. Okay? Being able to put this card from your hand into the graveyard is pretty good. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to your hand, and if you do, special summon one level 3 Dragonmaid monster from your hand. So, that's the big Dragon's effect. After the battle phase is over, it changes back into a maid. Which maid? This maid. There you go. Parlor Dragonmaid, also level 3. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one Dragonmaid card from your deck to the graveyard, except Parlor Dragonmaid. At the start of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand, and if you do, special summon one level 8. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, so obviously you can use this to mill your Dragonmaid lower part, but you can also use this to mill Dragonmaid Changeover. And Dragonmaid Changeover is a fusion spell that fusion summons one Dragon Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. But while this card is in your graveyard, you can target one Dragonmaid monster you control, add this card to your hand, and if you do, return that monster to your hand. You can only use that effect once per turn. So, if you don't have Changeover, Parlor Dragonmaid will mill Changeover, and that will let you start fusion summoning. So that's why Parlor is probably one of the better ones. She's not as good as Chamber, because Chamber just lets you draw Changeover, but she gets you Changeover if you don't have it. So, good card. Dragonmaid Lore Pour cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. You can only use the following effects once per turn. You can discard this card, target one face-up monster on the field. Players cannot activate that target's effects on the field this turn. That's pretty funny. So, this is a, not a quick effect, but it basically will turn off one of your opponent's monster negates. Because what are they going to do? Negate it? It's not like they get any benefit from destroying the lore par. You discarded it. And if they use the negate, well, they use the negate anyway. So basically, this is only, like, actually negated by a card that can do multiple negates in a turn, like Herald of Perfection or Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess. But most cards can't do that. So this card will just shut off a negate. Really good. And then at the end of the battle phase, it does the Dragonmaid thing. Changeover I already talked about. Dragonmaid Downtime. You could set this card from your deck with the skill, which is pretty good. This is a continuous trap. You can target one Dragonmaid monster you control, then activate one of these effects. Return it to the hand, and if you do, add one Dragonmaid card from your deck to your hand, except Dragonmaid Downtime. That is another way to draw Changeover, so you will just always have your fusion. Return it to the hand, and if you do, return one spell or trap your opponent controls to the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. That's also pretty good. Being able to bounce one of your opponent's spells and traps will make sure that you can win the game. So, yeah, good card. Dragonmaid Tidying. This is a normal trap card. Target one dragon monster you control and one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard. Return both of them to the hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon one Dragonmaid monster from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only use one Tidying effect per turn and only once that turn. This is a good card. You can search it off of Chamber of Dragonmaid, and it just is Compulse. Compulse is good. Pheedran, the Winds of Mischief. This is a level 3 Dragon Wind monster. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one face-up monster you control. If it attacks a defense position monster this turn, inflict piercing to your opponent. What? That's funny. During your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can target one other face-up monster on the field, change its battle position, then return this card to the hand. Okay. So you play this card, then you wait for your opponent's turn, you bounce it to make one of their monsters go to defense position, then next turn, you slam it back down, you're like, ha, I got you! Now I have piercing! That's the most convoluted, weak effect I've ever heard. Okay. If you want to be really cheeky with your Wind Dragon deck, with, I guess, is Dragunity, go off, King. Enjoy. Enjoy. Nerval. Nerval has the Tri-Brigade effect, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand. So, again, I've said this like 4 times. Fractal, discard, mill Kit, mill Nerval, Nerval, draw Keras, Keras special summon itself, and then you have 4 monsters in your graveyard. Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault. Oh, by the way, Nerval is a level 1 wing beast, which means that you can search it with Lyrilusk Recital Starling for some reason, if you want to do that. Tri-Brigade Airborne Assault. This is a quick play spell card. Target one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster you control. Special summon one Beast, Beast Warrior, or Wing Beast monster from your deck in defense position with a different type and with attack less than or equal to that monster, but its effects are negated until the end of this turn. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except link monsters. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, special summoning from the deck and getting extra link summons is really good. You can't use the Tri-Brigade effect, but you don't need to. You can just use it as link material. So yeah, solid card. Bearbrum, this requires 2 Tri-Brigade monsters. You can discard 2 cards, target one of your banished level 4 or lower Beast Warrior or Beast or Wing Beast monsters and special summon it. And if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add a spell or trap from your deck to your hand, then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, and you're locked into Tri-Brigades. Okay. Laughing Puffin, if a level 4 Dark Wing Beast monster, so you can play this in Raid Raptors and Blackwings. If a face-up spell or trap is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's good in Blackwings. You can tribute 1 Wing Beast monster you control, then target 1 face-up spell or trap on the field, return that face-up card to the hand, but for the rest of the turn, you cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same name as the card once it had returned to the hand. This is a quick effect if all monsters you control are Wing Beasts. Okay. This looks like a level 4 that you could special summon to me. It's fine. Incantation Talismandra. This is a level 6 dark plant monster. You can reveal one ritual monster in your hand, special summon both this card from your hand and one incantation monster from your deck, except Talismandra. If this card is special summoned from the deck, you can add one ritual monster from your deck to your hand. You can only use one Talismandra effect per turn and only one that turn, and you cannot special summon from the extra deck. Okay, cool. So Candle draws you ritual spells. Talismandra draws you ritual monsters, so you can do whatever you need to do. Then we have Incantation Chalice Slime. This is a level 7 Dark Aqua Ritual monster. You can ritual summon this card with Incantation Inception. You can reveal this card in your hand, discard one card. If you do, special summon one Incantation monster from your deck. Also, during the end phase, lose 2,500 life points if you did not special summon a ritual monster this turn after you resolve this effect. You can send one Incantation monster from your card from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. You can only use one Chalice Slime effect per turn, only once that turn. Okay. So Chalice Slime will basically discard itself to special summon an incantation monster from the deck, which triggers their effects to do searching pretty good. Then you don't, and then you ritual summon something else. Okay. Nurse Dragonmaid, level 2 Earth Dragonmaid. If this card is normal or special summon, you can target one level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster in your graveyard, except Nurse, and special summon it, and it has the Dragonmaid effect. Solid. You will play this card because of the skill, but it's not going to be that good. Airness. Cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. As a quick effect, you can discard this card to special summon one level 4 or lower Dragonmaid monster from your hand. That's really, really good. I don't know why this card is a neutral rarity card. At the end of the battle phase, you can Dragonmaid it. Laundry Dragonmaid, level 2 Water Dragon. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard. At the start of the battle phase, Dragonmaid. Okay, this card you'll have to play because it is the required for the skill. The effect is not too good. Actually, you probably will choose not to use it in most cases in Dragonmaid, but it's really good in Paleozoics and probably frogs as well. Like actual level 2 water decks would love this card. So cool. Nude Jarl cannot be destroyed by card effects while you control a fusion monster. You can discard this card, target one monster in either graveyard, and shuffle it into the deck. At the end of the battle phase, you can return this card to the hand and then special summon a level 2 Dragonmaid from your hand. Okay. Alright. Dragonmaid Welcome. This is a continuous spell card. All monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each Dragonmaid you control. If you control 2 or more Dragonmaids, you can target one Dragonmaid monster in your graveyard, or Dragonmaid card in your graveyard, except Dragonmaid Welcome and add it to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn, and if this card is sent to the graveyard, your opponent cannot target Dragonmaids you control with card effects this turn. I mean, this is a card that you would play, but I don't know that you'll play it in a 20-card deck. Dragonmaid Send-Off. A quick play spell, target one Dragonmaid monster you control. Special summon a Dragonmaid monster with a different name from your hand in defense position, and if you do, return the targeted card to your hand. The special summon monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects until the end of the next turn. You can only activate one Dragonmaid Send-Off per turn. Seems good. Yeah, I would play this. Karis, you can discard one other Beast Warrior or Winged Beast monster to special summon this card from your hand, and it has the Tri-Brigade effect. Dogmatica Ashion. This is a level 8 spellcaster monster. If a fusion, synchro, Xyz or Link monster is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can target one Dogmatica card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can make all Dogmatica monsters you control gain 500 attack forever. You can only use this effect once per turn. I mean, in a pure Dogmatica deck, sounds okay. Hinazumi Hanabi. Oh, it's this card. The hot potato card. Okay. Hinazumi Hanabi. This is a level 4 fire beast monster. Cannot be used as material for a fusion, synchro, Xyz, or link summon. So once you have this card, you either tribute it or you keep it. If this card is normal or special summon, place 6 counters on it. Once per turn during your end phase, give control of this card to your opponent. Take it. Once per turn, if control of this card with a counter changes, has a mandatory effect. Roll a 6-sided dice. Remove as many counters from this card as possible up to the result. If all this card's counters are removed by this effect, destroy this card. And if you do, take 2,000 damage. And it has 2,000 attack points. So, you could normal summon this card, attack your opponent directly for 2,000, pass to them, they roll a 6, it gets destroyed, and they take another 1,000 damage because it's going to be halved, and then you just laugh at them. That's the dream, not going to happen. So, but it is an interesting card, like, because it can't be removed from the field. You could just give it to a deck that needs 3 spaces and pass. Yeah. Brigand, the Glory Dragon, so we get more Fallen of Albaz support. This is a level 8 Dark Beast fusion that requires Fallen of Albaz plus a level 8 or higher monster, so I guess they're saying you could play Fallen of Albaz Dragonmaids. Sure. 2,500 attack, 2,000 defense, cannot be destroyed by battle. While you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot target other monsters you control with monster effects. During the end phase, if this card was in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add to your hand or special summon 1 Tri-Brigade monster or 1 Fallen of Albaz from your deck. You can only use this effect of Brigand once per turn. Oh, that's right. I forgot that Tri-Brigades are considered to be part of the Albaz storyline. Obviously, you're not going to play Tri-Brigades with this. Like, the Tri-Brigades don't even have any level 8 or higher monsters. This doesn't make any sense. Okay. Tri-Brigade, Rugal the Silver Sheller. Link 3, Beast Warrior, requires 2 or more Beast Warrior, and or Winged Beast monsters. During your opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast from your hand or graveyard by negate its effects. Also return to the hand during the end phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can make all monsters your opponent currently controls lose 300 attack for each monster type you control until the end of the turn, and you can only use each effect once per turn. You will probably play this card solely because you want a revolt target if you don't have a Link 2 in your graveyard, or banished. So, you'll probably play this at 1 just so you can play Revolt when you only have 3 spaces. Tri-Brigade Standoff. This is a continuous spell card. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters. You can send 1 monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, add 1 Tri-Brigade monster from your deck to your hand with a different original type than the monster sent to the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per turn. If this card in its owner's spell or trap zone is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can activate this effect, and your opponent cannot declare an attack this turn, which is funny. So Standoff will let you draw Fractal, so you can draw Fractal. Dogmatica. If the equipped monster is a Dogmatica monster, it gains attack equal to its level times 100. If not, it loses 200 attack for each Dogmatica monster you control. If this card is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster is destroyed, you can send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of Dogmatica once per turn. You have better ways to send cards from your extra deck to the graveyard. Dogmatica, this card is bad. Tri-Brigade Oath. Normal trap card. Target 1 Link monster you control. Special summon 1 Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster with a different type from your hand or graveyard. If you control one of each, at least one of each of Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monsters, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 face-up spell or trap your opponent controls, and negate its effects until the end of the turn. But you can only use 1 Tri-Brigade effect per turn, Tri-Brigade Oath effect per turn, only once that turn. Okay, it's good. Gizmek Inaba, the Hopping Hare of Hakuto, level 1 Wind Machine monster with 50 attack and 50 defense. When this card is normal summon, you can special summon 1 machine whose attack equals its own defense from your hand in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 machine monster you control whose attack equals its own defense. This turn, you cannot declare an attack except with that monster, but its original attack and defense become the combined original attack and defense of all machine monsters you control, whose attack equal their own defense. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay? So, all your Gizmek cards get supercharged by Hopping Hare. Cool. Gizmek Taniguku, the Immobile Intellect. Level 3 Earth Machine, 1450. If this card is normal or special summon, you can take a machine monster whose attack equals its own defense from your deck and put it on top. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 machine monster in your graveyard whose attack equals its own defense, special summon it in defense position. You can only use each effect once per turn. Gizmek Arakami, the Hailbringer Hog, level 4 Water Machine, 1850. If you control a machine monster whose attack equals its own defense, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 machine monster you control whose attack equals its own defense. Send 1 machine monster from your deck to the graveyard whose attack equals its own defense with a lower level than the targeted monster, and if you do, The targeted monster gains attack and defense equal to the level of the monster sent to the graveyard times 100 permanently. Okay. Ridiculous. That is a whole lot of nothing, just so you guys know. Incantation Bookstone, a level 5 dark spellcaster. You can reveal one ritual spell in your hand, special summon both this card and one incantation monster from your deck, except Bookstone. If this card is special summoned from the deck, you can target one ritual spell in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use one effect per turn, and you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. Incantation Inception. This is a ritual spell card. This card can be used to ritual summon any ritual monster. Okay, that's good. That card is worth going into the box for. You must also tribute incantation monsters from your hand or field equal whose total levels equal or exceed the level of a ritual monster that you ritual summon. Never mind. You can only use it with incantation. That still seems pretty good, but you would have to go through the box to get it. If this card is in your graveyard, you can send one incantation monster, a card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, except Inception. Special summon one incantation monster from your deck, then add this card from your graveyard to your hand. Wow, that's insane. Okay, you know what? We need a good ritual monster, but this could be a good deck. Crealtar, the Incantation Originator. This is a level 10 Ritual Fiend monster. You can ritual summon this card with Incantation Inception. During the main phase, this is a quick effect. You can reveal this card in your hand, discard one card, then special summon one incantation monster from your graveyard. Then special summon incantation monsters from your graveyard whose total levels equal 10, but shuffle them into the deck during the end phase. You can only use this effect once per turn. Non-ritual incantation monsters you control gain 2,000 attack points, but their effects are negated. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna make this deck work. This is too funny. We're gonna make Crealtar. We're gonna use our book and our candle and our talismandra to beat people to death. Ah. But you can't ritual summon to the EMZ. That's unfortunate that you can't ritual summon to the EMZ. Oh. Sad. What incantation cards are we missing? I'm curious now. I've literally never looked at this deck. Okay, we're missing two cards. Incantation Pensiplume, level 3 light psychic monster. You can reveal one ritual monster from your hand, special summon both this card from your hand and one incantation monster from your deck. If this card is special summoned from the deck, you can target one ritual monster in your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can only use one effect per turn, only once that turn. Now that seems like pretty weak. And the other one is Incantation Thanatos. Oh, this is a field spell. When this card is activated, you can reveal one incantation monster in your hand, special summon two monsters with that monster's name from your deck, and then shuffle the revealed monster into the deck. Once per turn, if a ritual monster is special summoned to your field, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Oh, wait! Crealtar negates the effects of your monsters, which means that you can special summon from the extra deck. So you can Crealtar, and then you can link the two monsters that you have on the board off. Interesting. Okay. Oh, no, wait, no, we did get Thanatosis. I mean, if we get Thanatosis, okay. This just special summons two monsters from your deck. I mean, that seems good. Sacred Scrolls of the Gizmek Legend. This is a field spell. During your main phase, you can excavate the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, you can add one excavated machine monster whose attack equals its own defense to your hand, then banish the remaining cards face down. You can only use this effect once per turn. Each time a machine monster whose attack equals its own defense is normal or special summon, place one counter on this card. While this card has 10 or more counters, neither player can activate the effects of monsters on the field whose attack does not equal their own defense. Oh. Okay. So you have to summon 10 times, but once you've Gizmek'd 10 times, you skill drain. That seems greedy, but I think it's really funny. I'm sure there's one guy who plays Gizmek that's gonna play Duel Links and be like, this is all I needed. He's got his 3 copies of Kaku. He's been waiting. Now all the cards have come out. He's just like, yeah, this is it. Is this all the Gizmek? I'm sure this is all the Gizmeks. Oh, we have 2 other Gizmeks in the deck in the game already. Gizmek Okami, the dreaded Deluge Dragon. You can pay 1,500 life points, destroy all monsters on the field that were special summoned from the extra deck. Also, you can only attack with 1 monster this turn. If 2 or more monsters special summoned from the extra deck are on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card in your possession is sent to the graveyard, you can banish 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard, then gain life equal to its attack. And Yada, you can special summon this card from your hand by attributing 1 normal summon monster. During your main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can immediately, after this effect resolves, normal summon 1 monster. If you do, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except monsters with the same original type. If this card is special summoned by its own effect is attributed, gain 2,050 life points. Okay. And then all the rest are in the box. Except this one. Gizmek Nakanaki, the Sunrise Signaler. Level 2 light machine. You contribute 1 machine whose attack equals its own defense. Special summon from your deck 1 machine whose attack equals its own defense with a lower level. You can banish this card. Add to your hand 1 of your banished face-down monsters whose attack equals its own defense. Oh. That card seems pretty important for Gizmeks. So the fact that we haven't gotten it yet is pretty bad. Okay. There's one last card, Dogmatica Genesis. Target 1 banished, fusion, synchro, exceeds, or link monster and 1 effect monster your opponent controls of the same type. Return the banished monster to the extra deck, and if you do, negate the effects of the monster the opponent controls permanently. Interesting. Okay. Alright, well, there you go. So what do I think about this box? I think hero players are going to spend a lot of money. I think Gizmek is funny. Probably not good. I think Dragonmaids are great. I think Tri-Brigade is great. I think Crystal Beasts will succeed. And I'm praying that incantation does something. This would be so funny. As far as Invoked, Invoked is just broken. So Invoke Makaba negates the monster effect, and then you have Invoked Caligula, which is Invoke Caligula is where is it? If a player's monster effect attempts to activate, none of that player's monsters can activate their effects for the rest of the turn. So you literally just make both Makaba and Caligula. Then your opponent can activate 1 monster effect. You negate it. They can't activate any other monster effects for the rest of the turn unless Caligula's turn face down. So yeah, Invoke will just be good. All right. Anyway, that's the deck. My name is Sarafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.